Hey gamers, Rob from Zborgaming here, and today I've got a special video for you on the AK-47. This is a loadout study. When I finished my AK-47 weapon guide, I had a subscriber here. I have a couple questions because he uses some loadouts that are a little bit different than what a lot of other people use. He says he uses the rubberized grip a lot. And so looking at his loadouts here, he's got 4 loadouts and he wanted me to take a look at them and sort of give my feedback on them. So I thought the best way to do that was to actually do the studies like I've done in the other videos. And so he's got 4 setups here: a 762 rush setup, a 545 rush, a 762 balance setup, and a 545 balance setup. So I went ahead and did the recoil patterns on all of these. So the first thing I noticed is that with all 4 of his loadouts, he used the compensator, the nose stock, and the rubberized grip tape. So the first thing I did was I took these 3 attachments with the AK-47, nothing else, into 18 meters. Now the reason I chose 18 is because at farther ranges, the AK has quite a kick, and I wanted to sort of tighten that up a bit. I figured I could still do the study. So here is what the recoil looked like at 18 meters with the core attachments, and the dotted line up here is what the base recoil pattern of the AK-47 looks like at 18 meters. It comes just under this window frame here. So I went ahead and tested the 4 setups. The 762 rush, you could see, did cut some of that side to side out. He said he really liked using the rubberized grip tape because it helped with some of the recoil, and he felt that when pairing it with that compensator and nose stock, it performed well. And you can see here that all 4 of his loadouts I thought actually performed quite well. My favorites I'll go through here in the video for various reasons on some of the next pages. Now, one of the other things I wanted to test is he uses the nose stock, and I actually wanted to swap over and try out the skeleton stock. Because what the skeleton stock does is it actually takes away that movement speed, and it also gets rid of I believe it helps with your aim stability. And so there are a couple little offsets, plus it gets rid of the recoil penalty that the nose stock has. So in blue are his 2 original ones, and in the yellow is all I did was I subbed out the nose stock and I put the skeleton stock in here. And you can see we did get a little bit better recoil pattern. Now keep in mind that's 30 bullets right there. Same here. And so we got a pretty good spread. So with that, and you can see I also tested that base AK-47 pattern just to show you that it does go right underneath that window frame there. You can see the type of improvement you got with both of his loadouts, as well as the ones where I threw the skeleton stock in. So on the whole, again here you can see where I took and put that skeleton stock in instead of the nose stock. I tried this out and played a couple games with it, and the first game I played was a headquarters on Rust, and you can see I went 25 and 10, so I did quite well, had a 2.5 KD with this build. I thought it performed very well. I was picking off enemies at quite the range with this, and that was with no scope either. You can see there is no optic on this build, so it performed quite well. If I had to rate the 4 builds as far as my preference, I would go with the 762 balance build first. The reason there is that I am not a super aggressive player. I like to, rush occasionally, but on the whole, take those short to mid-range engagements. And this loadout here fits my play style. And I actually subbed out that skeleton stock when I did that 25 and 10 gameplay. Second one is, if I was going to do a rush setup, I would go with this 545 rush, followed up by the 545 balanced, and then lastly, I would do the 762 rush. Now, the reason I sort of put these 545 balanced at 3 and the 762 rush at 4 is that really, if you want to use the AK as a rush build, there's probably a ton of other builds that you could use ahead of the AK-47. And the same sort of goes if you're going to use the 545 rounds. They're meant for more of a rush build and not necessarily a balance build. So these 2 builds sort of go against the ammo type you're using as well as the play style of the gun, which is really why I focused on these two builds here. This is probably the best if you want to go balanced, take that 7.62, and if you want to rush, use that 5.45. So that's sort of what I thought about his loadouts. I used several of these in a few gameplays and I did well with all of them. So I would definitely recommend taking a look at these two loadouts in the middle. And with that, I want to say a thanks to that subscriber for offering these loadouts up. Hopefully these help you. Again, here, like I said, this is my suggested balanced loadout with that compensator Romanian tack laser skeleton stock and rubberized grip tape. So with that, hey, I hope these helped. If you guys have loadout suggestions, throw them out for the benefit of the community. I can't say I'm always going to do full in-depth videos like this, but I hope it helped. So with that, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and be on the lookout for more videos. Thanks.